Okay, cool.
So tonight we're going to tie an articulated fly called the Flugenzombie, which here's some examples of it. It's a big fly, originally intended for brown trout. So it's part of that big streamer, articulated streamer game for big trout fishing, kind of made somewhat, I guess, famous by Kelly Gallup and others that have tied all these ridiculous giant flies. So this particular one is a combination of 3 flies that this guy, Clark Pierce, developed. It's the Leech, the complex twist booger, and the lunch lady. So those 3 combined to make up this fly. And I'll show this little video real quick of tying it, mainly just so you can see the action. Is it showing up?
Just have it the same distance away as the vise, as the needle, as the point of the vise. Up, there you go. Up right there.
Where you can see it flowing in the water. How it has is it there yet?
Yeah, well, it's not flowing. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, you see how it has a lot of action in the water, and this is like in a tube where water's flowing by. But when you're stripping it, it works like that. All the marabou and stuff that's in it.
Wow.
So it's very effective for gar. That's what I use it for, is catching gar, and it's. I use a lot of different ones: the sex dungeons, butt monkeys, circus peanuts, Flugenzombies. But the Flugenzombie is definitely my favorite one, and it's been proven to be very effective. So we'll get started. The little packages should have everything except for the final step when we tie the head on. That dubbing material we'll distribute it at that time. There are some other packages, so when I was trying to sort all these out, I tried to pick out the best best feathers for every one of them. But if you find you have a kind of a substandard hackle or marabou or whatever, feel free to come grab another package here and get a better one, or I have more feathers that you can sort through. So let's get started. Just put one of these. We start with the trailing hook. So this is going to be 2 size 2 hooks in tandem. And just start your thread and go all the way to the back. Whatever you do, don't be intimidated by this thing, because all it really is a woolly booger.
What matter what color of thread we're using?
It really doesn't, because when you're all done with it, the thread's like hidden behind everything, so you'll never really see it.
Got a pair of house slippers look like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You or Sue Ellen?
Oh, me.
The shank with the thread.
Yeah, go all the way to the back. And then find you a white marabou feather. And lay it on there. Don't be afraid to have it extend back pretty good. You want this fly to have a lot of action and flowy movement and all that to it. So tie that.
Than a hook shank. A lot.
Yeah, I'm not bashful about it.
So like a hook shank and a half or something.
Yeah,
like
that'll work.
Marabou you're putting on the end, right?
Yeah, that's marabou, the white one. And go back to the back of the hook again, because you're going to put the green one or the olive one on top of the white one. So the one I'm doing is orange, so if you're confused by the colors, that's what's going on. So now you're going to take the olive and you're just going to lay it right on top of the white and tie it on. and then go all the way back to the back again. Trim off any excess stuff. Everyone okay with these steps so far?
No, I mean, the second you put an olive, you put it on top.
Yeah, just right on top of it. And I suppose you could, line them up together and tie them on both on at the same time, but
Bring your thread back.
yeah, back to the back again.
Fly tying music in the background.
Mm-hmm. All right, is everyone caught up with where we're at?
Olive on top of white.
Olive on top of white. What do I do with...
What size rod would you? I mean, what's I guess the lightest rod you could probably throw one this size on?
You probably, I use like a 8-weight with it, and it's no problem at all. So you could probably go down to like a 6 if you were not making real long casts. All right, now I don't have any of the right stuff, but you should have what's called polar chenille in your package. So you get a piece of that. Do you have a piece of it? Great. So it should be the link. Get you one olive schlappen feather and one white schlappen feather, chicken feather, and a piece of the polar chenille. Now take your schlappen and unzip it. Like so. And on the end of it here, you can kind of pinch down the tip and just tie it onto the back.
Do one at a time?
One at a time. Yeah, you can just go around it like 3 times there.
What you were doing, you were stripping.
Oh, I just unzip them, go like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so do that with the white or the olive. It doesn't really matter the order. And
Do it to both.
yeah. And then take the other one, do the same thing and tie it on in the exact same spot, right on top of the other one. Then take your polar chenille and tie it on right on top of the 2 feathers.
You match 2, tie it on, then you match those singles.
Yeah, if you're tying 3 things in the exact same spot.
Where's he tying?
So each all by the tip. Tip, smallest end of the feather.
You can tie them in, yeah.
One white, one olive, and then the chenille. That's one set. And then the front hook's gonna have the same thing again later.
Yeah.
You tied it.
And then once you've tied those 3 in the back, go ahead and bring your thread all the way up to the hook eye. This is a fly that it's going to look like, it'll kind of look all bulked up and crappy while you're tying it, but trust me, everything gets hidden in the end of it. Everyone got the feathers tied in? Did you whip finishing it already, sir?
I would put a half hitch, like halfway through some of them, so when they get chewed up a little bit, there's a couple of half hitches to stop them from falling apart on me.
All right, now take your two feathers and line up the stems where they're lined up on top of each other, and kind of work the all the fibers where they're all sticking out. And also line up your polar chenille piece right on top of the stem. So I don't know if I can see that on the camera, but like that. Got it, Jack?
Well,
Oh, you haven't tied them in yet.
I haven't tied them in yet.
Okay.
My thread kept breaking on me, and I kind of
Okay.
fell behind.
Yeah, we can wait for you to catch up.
All right, so I got the two feathers now.
Yeah,
Tie them in.
Very
the very
very
tips.
tip, like about an inch from the tip.
You can even go like a ½ inch from the tip.
Like closer, yeah.
But Jack, take the feather and unzip it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. It's easier to probably just do one at a time, but yeah, Jack, just take it and do like, you know, unzip it like that.
All right.
And then this little, about that much of the front,
Tied it in?
just
Yeah, they're already tied in.
tie that
Oh, you
in.
didn't palm it though. No, I didn't palm
Tie
it.
it in.
Yeah, that'll work.
Tie it in with that tip all the way back to where the tail starts. That's your tie-in point for closer to the all three
That's all that's
of
gonna
those
happen. You're
pieces.
gonna palm them all in. And
Go a little bit, wait, Jack. Go a little closer to the tip at the end there. Yeah. Because we're going to have to wrap this feather like we're going to palmer it like a woolly booger.
Oh, okay. Hence the unzip it.
Yeah.
We're caught up.
Wait, are you in the front of the hook?
Front. Well, not
Tie it
all the way
back-
to the
back
front.
to the tail.
Huh?
You're gonna tie in three things all the way back.
Yeah.
From the tail. Yeah, right.
yeah, I'm sure it would.
The hook. And what you do is you hold all three pieces, they're all aligned.
Oh, there's
And if you have one of these clip thingies, you can clip on it. If you don't, you can do this with your fingers. And what you do is you just twist this wrap. Twist it a couple times, and then if you got a brush, kind of tease out the fibers. Basically what you're making is a dubbing brush, or whatever you call these things.
yeah,
A brush out of it.
Yep.
And then go ahead and twist it a little bit more.
Is that the one? No, that's.
It ought to look like this. And then you're just going to take it and palmer it right around the hook. And every time you come around, pull the fibers back so you're not wrapping on top of them. Like so. All the way to the, so you get to the hook eye, or right before it. And when you get up to the hook eye, this is where it helps having like a third hand. You're going to tie it off. trim off the excess and whip finish it. So at this point, basically, you've just tied a woolly booger, and this is it for the back hook.
This? No. Not at this point.
Too late, huh?
I don't use those anyway.
I do,
I find that
obviously.
a hand works a little bit better for most of this stuff.
You probably have more coordination on this.
I've probably done this more than you.
I would bet. That's for sure. I mean,
Hey,
you
Ken,
don't
you
do this
typically
thing,
put
do you?
epoxy or anything on
No.
it at this
You
point?
won't.
You can put like a head cement or hard as nails or anything like that on it if you want. So if you got that done, you can go ahead and take that hook out of the vise and put the other hook in the vise. So for the next one, is everyone caught up with ready to put the next hook in? I'll wait just a second. That copper looks pretty good in there.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a very red
Like brown.
fishing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is kind of orange too.
All right, so if we're at the, Gary, I'll let you. You ready? You're getting pretty meticulous over there, Randy.
Well, I was waiting. I'm killing
Okay.
time.
Have you
All
never
right.
have you never tied a jitterbee?
All right, so now we're on the front hook.
17 degrees.
Go ahead.
16 millimeter long tails.
Go ahead and start your thread on the front. Go about halfway and then come back up towards the front because we're going to tie the eye on first. I think I've figured out that the eye, if you kind of lay it with the kind of right behind the the hook eye.
You putting it on the what side of the hook you putting it on?
We start on the top, but then we're gonna, once you get it kind of secured on the top, we're gonna flip it over to the bottom.
Really? Interesting.
So it's gonna go on the bottom of the hook. So that if you do it on the top of the hook, it may not swim right.
You want the hook on the bottom?
No, no, tie it in
Yeah, on the bottom, so the opposite of a clouser minnow.
But say on the non-barb side.
No, we tied it on the. Seems like it'd be easier to put your
Flip it.
hook in your.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were gonna. I didn't realize you're flipping it right now. I tied it on a little better then.
It's kind of easier to start it like a clouser, and then
You
with
gotta
a few
flip it.
wraps, you just
There you go,
twist it
yeah.
But say it's not.
underneath, and then
It'll flip. Guess what? Short of me super gluing it down, it's flipping.
That's what I was thinking.
Like
It's like it doesn't. It wants to flip.
All right. And now, right there behind the eye, if you look in the bag, you should have a piece of 30-pound monofilament. And what you do is just lay the mono right on top of the hook.
I'm just looking at where your eyes were sitting on the hook.
And then
Yeah, because you're gonna tie it and then
tie the mono down on the shank. Do it tightly.
How far do you stick it out on the front?
It won't go out in the front.
it's gonna come on the back and you can put that hook
Just
on it.
tie the end of the mono
Yeah, just right behind the eye.
right
Yeah.
behind the eye.
Wrap it snug, going all the way back.
Put it right on top of the shank.
Yes, right on top of the shank. And kind of go down the bend just a little bit.
It's a good idea.
What?
Smash it.
Yeah.
It'll make it when you come back, it'll all be lined up, right? You don't go down the bend very far, Daniel. Just well, I don't know. I can't see how far you are, but just kind of right when it starts to curve. Yeah.
This is much nicer than one eye. And then you come back up.
No, not yet. So once you got the mono, take your fly, the back fly that you tied already, and slide the mono through the hook eye.
How far are you putting this thing off the back?
All right, so when you get it here, I like it to be about that far.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be about right.
Big loop on there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you do.
Make sure you put the rear one on with the hook lined up right with the front one, not upside down. Hook down.
How
So
long is this hoop?
About like that.
now lash the mono down on top of the hook as best you can, all the way back up to the eye. Don't do it. You want to do it tight, not that tight.
Watch it through, don't plug it.
Right.
Okay, it's GSP. Good luck breaking that. I got granted I haven't even tried that stuff. I don't know if you can break it or not.
You want,
When you thread the eye from the bottom.
yeah, you want the hook points to be in the same, up vertical. You want them like that. You want them both to be
Yeah,
pointed
you want it to be like this. The hoop.
Yeah, but when you're going through the eye, do you go from the top of the hook or the bottom of the hook?
Well, when you
Bottom.
from the bottom,
From the bottom, Gary.
from the bottom. Yeah, I had put it from the top the first time, and it went. The thing was pointing the wrong direction.
So how much?
So when you get it back up to kind of close to the eye, you
There's a
can
fair amount. You get a fair amount of loop, yeah.
Okay.
cut it off. Now take your thread and go back to the back of the hook again.
That's about right.
3/4. I've caught gobs of fish and big fish and had big fish pull, and I've never had one of these come loose tied like this. Sometimes I'll put some super glue, like if you have glue and you want to put it on the threads right now, you can do that, and then that'll guarantee it won't slip out, but I've never had one slip. I've bent the rear hook trying to get it off of a snag before it's busted that.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
You recommend,
He pulled the hook right off of the pulled my lower part.
do you have trouble with the eyes twisting?
With the eyes twisting?
Yeah.
No, I've never really had problems with this particular pattern doing that.
I feel like you end up putting so much stuff.
I think there's so much stuff
cushions.
tied on it. Yeah.
That's kind
Yeah.
of tied to mono in it,
Yeah.
and then kind of some cross wraps, it's bound up.
All right.
What did you do after you got that?
So now get you a white marabou. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did on the front hook. Long and bushy's good. Well, when you look at your marabou, if you have one that's really, really bushy, don't use it. Save the really, really bushy one for the final step on the white ones.
Use the uglier piece on the
Yeah.
In the middle, ugly piece in the middle.
Now,
Just like we did
yeah. Now I like to tie it on where it covers up and goes all the way onto the back of the fly here like this. This marabou is what gives this thing the life when it's in the
So
water.
you want the back end of the marabou just over all that slopping and everything?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of blends into it. So you can do the white, then do the olive on top of it.
How far back you go? You go about halfway of the hook shank on the second hook, or further.
Yeah, it's probably about where I don't know. Mine kind of might go all the way. Laid it all out.
And then you put olive on top. White and then olive on top, right?
Or
Olive on top.
White on top, yeah, whatever. How you did it before?
Once you got that, get you a white schlappen feather, an olive schlappen feather, and a piece of the polar chenille, and tie it in by the tips just like we did on the back.
Oh,
say if possible, I mean, you want the front to be like bushier than the back one. I mean, you don't want to. Smally woolly bugger leading your bigger one, but if you could, I like to make the barbs a little bigger on the front ones, maybe tie it in farther from the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had some ugly ones that look weird where the back's just like really bushy.
Yeah.
And the fish went,
Fish,
looks
yeah,
fine to me. You said, ooh, something moving in
So
bushes.
that one goes to the rest of it.
I'll take all your poorly tied ones, Brian.
Same as the front where you tie in both one white schlaffen, one olive schlaffen, and then also that polar chenille. All of it tied in all in the same spot. You can tie them in individually, but all in the same spot.
Do it just like you did it on the back one.
That was the lower time.
Shit, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I understand.
That's fine. And the next step would be to tie these two.
Some more anthocyanins in your diet, I guess.
We were just missing
This does look like it would be a attractive fly, attractive bait to a fish.
Make sure you do this.
I mean, it's all huge profile.
All right. So then you're going to take your feathers, line it all up, make sure you get them all unzipped where they're all going to twist pretty. And then twist it. Twist and tease it if you got the brush.
Just like that?
Yep, just about an inch. Because we're going to turn it. So you don't want to cut it all off.
I want that up front.
On the back.
And once you've done that, now you're going to palmer it forward, and you're going to stop kind of just behind the
Just a bit.
eye.
Yeah, and that goes on top right now.
So right there, before you get to the eye, you want to give yourself a little bit of room, because
Tie it in there, right behind the eye.
yeah, right behind the eye. And then once you got it tied in right behind the eye, you can kind of pull everything back and give you some good tight wraps and give you a little bit of space between where it's at and the eye.
It'd be too late to try to find any space now. You go ahead and cut it, right?
Yes, cut it off. Alright, this next step, when you are caught up, takes the hands of a surgeon. Alright.
How much space do you leave behind? Like a hook eye, maybe behind the eye.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Okay.
Okay, the next step is a surgeon's step.
But like I said when we started, it's one that as you're tying it, it looks like it's going to be really bad, but it all gets hidden in the end.
You doing the next step after the?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, good.
Just waiting for Sydney to catch up.
I don't know where I'm gonna fit the last pieces.
All right, this next the next step to me is what makes the fly, but it's
No pressure.
no pressure, but it's also
All or nothing now.
the biggest pain. But the good thing is if you screw it up, you know, it's not like it messes up the whole fly. You can just tie in another. So what you want to do is get one of these marabou pieces, the flowier and bushier the better, and find the stem in it and go to the tip. Find where the stem is going all the way through it, because it's actually just like a hackle, and you can tie it on and palmer it just like a hackle, and that's what we're going to do with it. Yeah, on the delicate.
So you gotta be kind
You
of.
tying that right behind the eye?
Yeah, so the delicate little,
We're doing both colors here?
both colors, yeah.
One on top of the other, or one at a time?
You can I do one at a time, because trying to stack marabou's probably right behind the eye. Now we're only going to go like 2, maybe 3 wraps of marabou around the hook, so you can go a little bit farther back down the stem here and give you a little more strength, but it
Yeah, if you tie them in at the same time, or tie them in one after the other, and then put a wrap them at the same time after you have them tied in.
yeah, go one, I just do like 3 little wraps around it, then take the other color and tie it on the same way.
And this is between the lead head and the eye.
But between
The eye and the body that we just did.
It's behind the eye.
Behind the eye.
behind the eye, yeah.
Right behind the eye.
And tie that one on. Now I'm gonna, if you have one of these like thread holding things, it's nice to get the bobbin out of the way. Now you're gonna take both of these marabou very delicately and pull them up and line up the spines on them, like so.
Wait, so you didn't wrap them yet, did you?
No, I haven't wrapped them yet, I've just tied them on.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
And once you got them tied in and lined up, you're just going to very carefully start palmering them right here behind the eye. And you want to get around there like,
Push it back as you.
yes, push them back as you go and try
Imagine
to,
it's a giant soft tackle collar.
yeah, and go about, if you can get like three wraps, that'll be great without breaking it off. And then you have to kind of just,
We've got a piece of olive,
Marabou?
marabou.
Well,
I have
this one is.
I don't have.
This one's not ideal.
there's another kit here. You can just, yeah.
Is it tied in?
Yeah, once you've gone about palmered it 3 times, then just tie it right behind the eye.
No, you just.
No twisting.
Around. I mean, it doesn't. You just want to trap. You want to keep it flowy without trapping as many of the feathers you can. I comb it out after I have it tied in, but if you get it so matted down that it doesn't brush out, then you might want to start over.
Yeah, you want it to be real flowy.
Start over, that's a terrible thing.
Just on this part. Or on one.
So get that secured. And trim off the excess.
Yeah, and once you got it like that, yeah, stroke all back and just wrap back over it a little bit.
And so now you got this real flowy marabou here. That's what, when it's in the water, that's what makes it look like it's alive.
What part about it makes it look like a zombie? The alive part?
I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure that's pronounced Flugenzombie. Flugenzombie.
So if you're caught up with that, now get your rubber legs, because why not tie some more crap into this?
I got room for more crap on Anybody got any?
Where the heck am I gonna put this other crap? Oh my God.
So you're still tying right behind the eye. If you're in front of the eye, you're in the wrong spot.
I thought you said behind the eye of the hook. I got to
No, the eye of the eyes, the eyeball eyes.
Okay, behind.
Right now, you want to be behind the eye. The marabou is behind the eye, eyeballs.
Okay, this is the last thing I can tie in here, so.
You need another piece of marabou.
Green one.
Yeah.
How much room left up there? You're a green one?
Yeah.
Like Gary Hayes.
All right, so take a leg, and on one side of the fly, the way I do it is just split the leg, this one single leg over the thread of
So
evenly.
you're trying to get 4 legs total on it,
Yes, yes. Did y'all see that? How this is done?
We have, okay, there it is.
Do that on one side.
Did you roll that fly 90 degrees?
Yes.
Okay.
And once you get it on one side, then go do it on, well, I do it like this. The little video that I used to learn how to tie this, the guy doesn't do it this way.
What?
You leaving it, we're gonna ultimately leave it this long, Ken?
The leg?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
How
I
long
don't
you
know.
want?
How long do you have it?
It's that long.
Did you split the leg in half when you...
Our legs are a little longer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's up to you to...
So are we supposed to split this one in half, like these two? Or we just use one of these
Just
like this?
you fold it.
Just fold it like that?
Yeah, exactly.
So you turned it on the side, and then put it one side.
Oh, that's 2 legs.
Huh?
Oh, I'm gonna do the other side of the eyes.
All right. So all right, Brian, you want to distribute?
Yeah.
You might just have to put kind of break some clumps on the tape. I'm not sure really the best way.
You just
You got
put
any
kind of
trick
like
to
a wool head with the dubbing on it.
Got any trick to like keeping the legs out of the way?
Yeah, we're gonna do.
I just tangled them all up and everything back there.
Okay. That works. Yeah.
But I say, if you use those really long ones that were in the packets, they'll tie around the back of your vise.
All right, we're at the if you've tied the legs in, now you're at the final step
Awesome.
where you're going to put the lunch lady head on it. So we're going to use this laser dub stuff, and what you are going to do is pull off a clump of it like so, and kind of work it, twist it and work it around, and
That might be it, your bag. That's kind of what I started with.
or you end up with
Yeah, you
like
know what
a
the stuff he's gonna give you.
end up with a piece like this.
He's gonna show you.
And what you'll do is lay it right there, right, kind of split evenly, and give it one
Separate.
Tying
Two.
this in front of the eyes.
right behind the eyes.
Oh, you're still behind the eyes.
Yeah, on this one.
I start with the darker one. Start with the top one. The
Hey,
darker is going to be on top, and the white.
So we're gonna turn it over and do the other.
So I'll do like
Top, bottom.
2 wraps, and then you'll fold the front
Or more
back and give it like 2 wraps, and so you'll end up with this kind of mohawk looking clump right here.
And this is with the colored stuff, not white.
So yeah, you'll do the dark on top to get you a, how big of a, what you
And don't use it all that I gave you. Some of it, I gave it. You're gonna do a few stacks of it. So
Yeah, we're gonna do 3 stacks of this. That's how many I do. I don't,
3 stacks of each color. Or 3
Is this
Yeah.
enough for a stack, Ken? Like this much or more?
like, yeah, that's probably enough. You could do a little bit more.
Because we're gonna do a couple layers.
Double that.
I kind of aligned it.
So once you've done the top color, then if you have a rotary vise, you can spin it around, and
No, I'm what we're talking about.
you're gonna get you a clump of this stuff, kind of work it into a little nice little bunch, and you're gonna tie it on the bottom,
This is the same color, correct?
the opposite color on the bottom.
Color.
Lighter color on the bottom.
Alright.
So I give it like 2 wraps in the middle, and then fold it back, and give it 2 wraps.
He's got the white on the bottom
Mm-hmm.
and the green on the top.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Flip it,
fish.
flip it back around.
You know,
Yeah, the hook back.
Then-
Forget that.
And now you're on your second dark colored clump, whatever color it
Go
is.
back to the top
Are we
of
still
that, I'll
behind
take
the dumbbell eyes?
Yeah, I'm gonna do mine right behind the dumbbell eye on this one too. Stop complaining,
it.
Randy,
Well,
and
you
just
shouldn't-
tie
You
it.
shouldn't have put so much in.
I know. You're exactly right. It'll be all right.
And these are just going in front of the other ones, huh?
Flip it over.
Randy's gonna go home and tie a bunch of jitterbees just to relax.
That might be true. 16 degrees. 6 millimeters.
Now take the white. And do it on the bottom right there behind the kind of right.
So are we alternating colors when, or is it always gonna be white on?
It's always gonna be white.
White on
White
white.
on the bottom and then olive on the top.
Just like a fish. All right, so if you haven't gotten frustrated yet,
It looks good like this, I think. I guess we can keep going.
yeah, we gotta get one more. So now get your thread in front of the dumbbell eye. Give it a couple wraps to put a little bit of a thread base here at the front. And get you your final clump of dark olive or orange in mine.
We're gonna do this in the front now, right?
Yeah, you're gonna tie this final one in front of the eye.
Yeah, this looks like a neat fly.
And then flip it over. Do the same thing with the white. And if you followed all of my crystal clear instructions,
Oh, they were good.
you will have just barely enough room to whip finish right here behind the hook eye.
Oh, that's his one. I think barely enough room.
Can I make a suggestion to anybody who's crowding? If you got a pen, you can use a
Yeah.
do a half hitch, and it'll push that fiber back, that laser dub.
I just folded it in half, and then I tied it around half, and then I bent it back on top of itself. Probably should have enough room. I'm gonna go with it like this.
Well, I hear dark. I don't have real good eyesight, so I'm still okay then.
So if you've made it to this point, it still kind of looks like hell. So what you want to do is kind of brush everything back. And if you go by the Fly Fishing the Ozarks video, this is all he does. You can do it that way. I tend to like to take it and take your scissors and kind of trim it back a little. In kind of a fishy shape. Just like doing deer hair though, you know, take your time, because watch out for the legs, don't cut the legs off. And
some's gonna come out like this.
You just shaping the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Like that. Just do that on either side.
in the video he just pulls it all back, but I like to trim it.
Notice
Yeah,
as I've
just
tied, I've
keep
done
that
that
stuff,
too.
like I said, a lot
Yeah,
of
I like the way it looks.
Yeah,
Come out.
it's a little bit bulky if you just fold it back.
Have you fished this for anything else besides gar? I mean, this looks like it would catch bass.
It should.
Yeah, fish. This is one of my go-to river bass flies. But yeah, that's what I caught on it.
In this size too, or is it a little smaller? About like this.
This size, or I mean, yeah.
I don't know how you could tie it any smaller. It's got so
Yeah.
much stuff in it.
I was about to say, when I looked at, there's a micro
Flugenzombie?
Flugenzombie
Wow.
when I looked it up, so I don't know how big it is, but
So that's it.
it's,
You can you can put some hard as nails or UV resin or whatever kind of right here at the head of it to strengthen it. But I've gone through I've had one that I don't know how many gar I caught on it. It was a bunch. It was that day that Brian and David and I were at the secret gar spot, and it's been exhausted. Yeah, I went by there the other day, Saturday, and it got whittled down, but it's pretty durable. It was still.
I mean, I've had
You
one
could
where
still
like
tell
the
what it
tackle
was.
unwound or something. Like
Yeah.
the other day was probably one that I fished like 5 or 6 trips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that one you gave me, I caught a ton of them on it. It got to where it was like had a half eye on it, and
Yeah.
there wasn't much left, and they were still like that. I think I went as
What
thick.
you said, Pete, I think the story behind all these articulated flies and big trout was that they observed that big trout would hit rapalas and big stick baits. So they were basically matching the hatch with these flies.
So that cut back on my mirror, by the way. Bushy.
That's perfect, man.
The bushier the better. When it's wet in the water, it'll be all flowing and yeah.
oh, you didn't bring test tank?
No, I did not bring the test tank.
I don't think I'll put as much as you.
It's good.
Awesome, kid.
It's like somebody's been fucking chickens
White
over
could be
here.
a little longer.
Well done all around.
Yeah, congratulations. It's not a.
Yep, thank you, Ken. This is great.
I thought this would be a train wreck, but it worked out good.
No, this was wonderful.
Good teacher.
And only about an hour.
Yeah,
No,
it
he
only
timed
took
it
an
just
hour.
right, man. We were right on time.